Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about, well, what's the difference between QuickBooks Self-Employed and QuickBooks Sole Trader? For those who don't know, QuickBooks have just released a brand new version of QuickBooks called QuickBooks Sole Trader. And the idea of QuickBooks Sole Trader is to basically replace QuickBooks Self-Employed with the brand new QuickBooks Sole Trader. So, if you're in that camp of already using QuickBooks Self-Employed, maybe you're still liking it, maybe it's the best thing since sliced bread for you. The thing to remember is that QuickBooks Self-Employed will not be around forever. And at some point, you will be forced to migrate over to QuickBooks Sole Trader. So with that in mind, let's go through looking at both of the two side by side and figure out exactly what those differences are. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, head of accounts here at Boffix, and also your friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. for Ask the Accountant. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the difference between sole trader and self-employed. What's the difference between the two of them in the world of QuickBooks Online? And without further ado, let's just get straight into this and let's figure out exactly what the differences are. All right then, so what have I got in front of me? Well, in front of me, I have the brand new, just in beta, QuickBooks Sole Trader. Absolutely cutting edge in terms of the newest of the new from QuickBooks themselves. And I have on the right hand side QuickBooks Self-Employed. And the deal here is we're going to go through each page individually and figure out exactly what the two are. So on the left hand side, we start off with, let's just look at the UI. So UI sort of thing, at the top right hand corner, we have the assistants. Now I have noticed that the assistant has been gone. I do believe it's because we're moving from one solution to the other. So yeah, just keep an eye out on that one. So there's no more assistants. Then all they had was the help screen, which has basically been replaced by our cog, which then you have the opportunity to go into help into there. And then finally you had a custom cog here, which is very similar in both of them, right? Right hand side profile, we have the profile there when you go to accounts and settings and subscriptions and billings. And then we had billing info, sign out, and we have feedback and privacy there as well. We do have more tools though. I do like the fact self-employed does give you create and manage rules and manage tags. Tags is going, so I can imagine that will never appear on the left-hand side, never appear on Sole Trader. But the fact that you can manage tools I really liked about self-employed. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that's going to come back soon. And then on the tools side, we have Smart Look, which basically means that people from QuickBooks can look at your screen and help you along. So that's always a nice one to have. And then we have import and export data. Love seeing that there. That is a real nice one. From a taxes point of view, we only have the vehicle info over here, whereas here we have the tax profile. And then we have banking of link accounts, manage connections, where it'd be here we had connect bank, manage account, import transactions, and forward receipts. So there was more kind of options there on self-employed. Remember, this is still in beta on the left-hand side, so there are still things that are going to come itself going forward. That was our help button, and we do have a search functionality. We love having search functionalities, so I'm really happy to see that there. Okay, so search functionality on the left, so and not on the right. So that's our one big advantage of being over on the left-hand side so far. Then we have our dashboard and our home screen. Now, we've been on this the whole time. I hope you can admit that the left-hand side is a better home screen for us. We have this nice area at the top here, kind of giving you a bit of insight in how your business is going and giving you some breakdowns. Nice little shortcuts if you want to quickly create a customer, an estimate on an invoice. That's always nice to see, right? Cash balance on the left-hand side. See how it's calculated. So it's going to give you a breakdown of how that has been made up and any upcoming information you might need. And then we have a customized layout below where we can use the customize button. There'll be more widgets to add later down the line, but at the moment we can add and remove those widgets we might not need. And we can even move things around as well and just kind of make this page how we are. I'd always want my bank top left-hand corner. That's your most important figure, right? So let's make sure that's there, nice and easy to see. Right inside we have the very similar information. But if I'm completely honest with you, there was no customization options and it was just a case of you just accepted what was there, right? The next one down is transactions. Now, on the transaction on the left-hand side, you have two different tabs. And on the right-hand side, we have from here. Now, I haven't actually put any information in here from what I can remember. Let's go to a different tax year, see if there's anything there. That's better. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is your transaction page. On your right-hand side is the transaction page for self-employed. Now, straight away, you can see they've tried their best to make this very familiar from the left to the right. My biggest criticism, though, I would say, is this top area. I think on the right-hand side, on QuickBooks Self-Employed, they did a better job. I think this filtering system here is much more easier to see and actually deal with. And I think that this here is really invaluable information. This tells you straight away, you can see on mine, look, April, May, June, there's no information there. That seems like there's a problem, right? It seems like there's something I've done wrong there. Same with February, March, April. And there's not much going on in October, September, November. So it looks straight away that maybe there's some missing information I need to investigate. It might be absolutely spot on, but there could be an information here or option here for me to get some more information in there. Left-hand side, I have no idea. I can't tell, right? I don't know what's the information's in there. I'm missing that. And although, yeah, we do have this filter system here, which is very similar to the filter we have in QuickBooks Online, I do find this filtering much easier to use. Straight away, I can get my type, unreviewed versus reviewed. We'll talk about that in a second. We can see what accounts we're in. We can see tax years. We can do tags. And we've got a search transaction button here. We have all that functionality there. I feel like it's a lot less. What I do like, though, what I absolutely love, is this option up here. Telling you that there's a bit of AI integration here. It's telling you there's some things you should be looking out for, going for. Telling me that my car and van was higher than usual this month, and my spending was higher than usual with my car and van in this month as well. So remember, it's only in beta here, so give it, don't look at it too much. But the fact that we are getting these little insights, absolutely love. Now, the biggest difference we will ever see here is the way that it's brought this data in. So on the left-hand side, you can click into a transaction by using this little pencil button here, and it comes up on the right-hand side. On the self-employed one, I would drop it down and have this functionality. Now, functionality-wise, pretty much very similar. Both of them, we have a date to interact with. Interestingly, on this one, they kind of lock the dates out for you to a point. Then we have to choose if it's income and expense, business, personal split, business and personal, and we can split by using the split button. What it's for, but we also get a payee as well. I think the payee is going to be really powerful going forward, because that just gives you more options to put things in. You get to put the amount in there. Interestingly, is it letting me change it? I don't think I can change it on everything. Can I? Let me just check. No, yeah. So if it's the one, okay. So in fairness, on the right hand side, because I've added that transaction at the top, that's why it was giving me this functionality to do that. There's my split functionality that I've got there. Category wise, drop down, very similar to here. If I'd have put it to personal, I can then choose a category through there and pick the category that worked well. Or if I was already in here, I could do here. I notice as well, you've got the add rule option, which we love. And both of them now do have the ability to add the receipt. So we can add a receipt there and put some notes in as well. The exclude functionality on the self-employed was down here, where it's now just there, nicely hidden away. I actually prefer that. We don't want to be excluding transactions as best we can. So I like the fact that's hidden away. And then if we go for personal, it'll just put the category directly to there. Whereas in this one, if we went to personal, we just didn't have to say whether we went to personal spending, but it was kind of locked away almost, right? You couldn't really change that then because you'd put it to personal. Here, we can actually go, well, actually, I think that's car and van expenses, and it'll automatically swap that over to business for you. Where here, you had to change it from personal to business first, and then you could go and change it in. So subtle differences, but I do like the transactional version on sole trader. I think that's where the benefit's going to be gone. The biggest benefit is if we've got, and I've shown this one before, but it's definitely something to look into. Let's look at this in eBay income that's come here. And then we've got some Amazon. Let's say this is Amazon income. I know it says 0, but let's say this is Amazon income. Now, if the Amazon income was coming in, and we had a fee to account for, it was really difficult in QuickBooks Self-Employed to do that. You'd have to put two transactions. You'd have to put a new income one by going to the add transaction and putting income, and then a new expense and make sure they both agreed. A little bit messy, right? This one, if I've got a fee of, say, a £5 to account for, I just add a split. In this next thing, I put, let's say, £5, and let's say it was for... I'm just going to put professional fees for now, but you'd have an eBay fee or a bank charge or something like that. And the idea is because I've put £5 in, and actually I'm going to put minus £5 in there, then what happens is it's now put minus 5 against professional fees. So we're saying that we've had incurred an eBay fee of £5 because we didn't actually sell something for £37.31. We sold something for £42.31 with a £5 fee. And with this one, it's going to make it so much easier for us to be able to do that. Now we can easily see that £42.31. That to me is my favorite bit about sole trader. I think that makes it so much easier to do. So there's your transaction page. Now adding the transaction, same in both of them. Literally, you can add a transaction manually, top right hand corner here, or add a transaction there. But as with everything in QuickBooks Online, the best thing to do is just attach the bank. So if I drop this down here, I can link a new bank account. I can even upload a bank statement if I want to use it that way. And similar on here, I could import transactions there or add a bank account. But once you've got your bank account connected, it is great. It's a whole new world as well where it's going to automatically do this for you. Absolutely love it. I think it works a treat. Similar to this one, it's in a different area on here, but you do have the opportunity to bring in your receipts as well. So the idea would be that I could add a receipt, upload from a thing from there, use OCR technology. It's going to read. Now my biggest issue I have though at the moment is you don't have an option at the moment. If you've got a transaction here, see this one's unlinked, it says, you can't create the transaction from here. Yet over on here, if I'd uploaded a transaction that didn't appear, so basically a new transaction, maybe a cash transaction, for example, I was able to create the transaction directly from here. I believe that functionality is coming to Sole Trader at some point, but at the moment it's not there. I like the whole linked, unlinked and duplicate area. I think that works really, really well. And they just need to give us an option to be able to bring in and create transactions from here. Because the fact that Fat Hippo Glasgow for £120 isn't in the bank is because I never paid for it from my bank account. I paid for it from elsewhere. So I need an option here to be able to create that directly from here. And I think then we're into an absolute winner. Then we have our get paid option versus invoice options on the left-hand side. Now, this is an area where it's been completely overviewed and created. All I had in the self-employed option was the option to create an invoice. There I can go through and just put the invoices you can see on the right hand side. Now though, I've got a chance to create an estimate first, so I can send an estimate and I can say, look, do you want to agree on this? Do you want to make sure we're happy with this? And we get such a better UI here on the left hand side than we do on the right hand side. Here, this is exactly what that invoice is going to look like. Here, we're kind of building it in, but we've got to do a lot of kind of manual work to get it there. The other big thing, it's not gone live yet, is on the left-hand side, we'll also have the option later down the line to accept payment as well. So once you've sent an estimate, convert it to an invoice, then the customer can make the payment there and then. I generally believe that's a game changer. I generally believe that's absolutely huge. Where on the right-hand side, we never had that functionality. We could send it and we could tell them how to make payment details here, but we weren't able to. And also on the left-hand side, we have options to do products and services. And products and services are just the way of making it easier. From here, I can just add work, right? Flat rate, whatever it's going to be, by hour if I want to, and £10, and I did 2 hours, whatever, 25 hours, and there's my invoice being created, right? Here, though, I have the opportunity to go in and select a product and service I've already done. I've already said that test product's £10 per unit. All I need to do is do 25. Like, I'm already making savings here and keeping it consistent on the left-hand side. Absolutely love it. Options to do discounts on there. Options to do shipping fees, and I can change my design, and I can even schedule out reminders, and I've got all sorts of options on here. They're very basic on the QBSE side. And really kind of not much options there. I even got more actions down here to kind of play around with and put my logo in. And I just feel like this left-hand side invoice is so much better. The fact you got estimates, the fact you got all that sort of stuff, I think really, really makes it a better one. And we get so much more data to look at as well. I can go through and I can look at, if I go to my customers area, I can see how much people are spending with me, kind of see if people owe me money. I can look at these nice and easy, quickly look at my overdue invoices. I've got it, what was recently paid. And here I just didn't have that functionality. I was kind of left there. I also get a goals area as well. I can set goals of how many customers I want or anything like that. Kind of there's just more to do with the data. We got more use out of it, in my opinion. Cash flow as well, brand new to here. We got a whole cash flow area we can play around with now. We never had that on the self-employed, so that's going to be really nice. Very simple, very straightforward, but it's really nice to have. The reports area, I think, is completely changed. So right-hand side, in fairness, you had this really useful tax summary pack. I'd love to see them bring that back. I think that was a huge benefit of the self-employed one. We would always just take that tax summary area and that would form the basis of our tax returns that we were going to create for people. We don't have that here. But in fairness, on the right-hand side, we have a far more sophisticated reporting structure. So here's my profit and loss, one of my favourite reports of all time. And we can see straight away income and expenditure going there. I couldn't achieve that here. There was no way of me finding that information. I'd have to kind of go through and kind of like look at, maybe there's a profit and loss report here and we could kind of see it, but it wasn't split into this nice monthly area. And again, you know, it just didn't give us that element of it. From a taxes point of view, you can see taxes right here. In fairness, this is where the self-employed one actually looks and feels better. There are some definitely benefits of doing it this way, mainly because on the left-hand side here, you know, yes, there's some information there. Yeah, we can kind of see it like this, but it's not interacting. When over here, for example, it interacts with my mileage. Both solutions give you mileage, but only on the self-employed does that mileage automatically come into QuickBooks for you. On the left-hand side, it just records the mileage with the idea that you then have to add it. We're hoping that changes soon. Again, it's only in beta, but that's where a big benefit of self-employed is. Same with use of home of office. £312 automatically applied for us here, and then disallowed anything that might not be allowed. On the left-hand side, it just doesn't give you any indication of that whatsoever, which is a real shame in my eyes. I think this is the one area I was banging the drum against for QuickBooks, saying, look, if we're going to move from self-employed to sole trader, this is the bare minimum. We need this to be working, because this, I think, is so important. And then the big kind of difference between the two, so you can both kind of look at your taxes, both look at mileage, all those sort of things are there. The mileage page looks very similar on both, look, yeah, coming through. In fact, you get more information on the left-hand side now in the browser, which we love, where in the browser here you didn't get as much. The big difference, though, I think, is the back to the bank transactions area. And this is the one thing that we're hoping they change soon, but currently we've got to live with. On the right-hand side, it's very easy to know which ones I've dealt with. So I can see that there's the grade ones I've already dealt with, and the other ones haven't been dealt with yet. Now, in fairness, on the left-hand side, it's using AI. The whole point is that you don't actually, I haven't touched this one, and it's already gone through and allocated literally every transaction for me. And on here, it's kind of allocated some of them, maybe have rules on them or whatever, but realistically, I've got to go through and go into each one. So yeah, that's business. I know it's not rent and it's subscription, and I have to go through and do that for each transaction. Left-hand side, it doesn't do that. Left-hand side, it's saying that that's already been done for us, which is great. But how do I know which ones on the left-hand side I've dealt with and which ones I haven't? And that's going to be the biggest issue, I think, with the current layout. And I know they're looking into it. I know there's going to be changes. Again, it's only in beta. But at the moment, the biggest danger, the biggest issue is that we don't know which one of these we've looked at, where it's very obvious on the right-hand side which ones we have. I do think that that's going to be the biggest worry, because at the moment you add your bank and it almost feels like you've done. Like there's no workflow after that to get to the right bit to be able to submit your tax return. And I just feel that this almost takes it too far. We're taking away too many steps to get there. There still has to be a human element to getting this right and checking it right. And there's no workflow there to be able to get that right. And I do really, at this moment in time, I wouldn't recommend Sole Trader because of that one flaw. And I think once that flaw is sorted, we are on to a really good win, because this product is actually infinitely better than QuickBooks Self-Employed. So we are going in the right direction. We just need to sort that one bit out. What do you think? Do you like QuickBooks Self-Employed? When you look at it line side by side like we have now, which one do you prefer? sole trader, self-employed? Which one works best for you and your business? I personally feel like this is a huge update, and one that I'm really excited to kind of seeing how it goes along and how it progresses. We've already seen cash flow being added to it. We've yet to see what the accountant sides look like as well, but I'm really excited for the accountant side and having to play around with that. And I just feel like we've got a really good way of getting some really good option for small sole traders out there. I think this will be a much better solution to them than QuickBooks Self-Employed when it's finished. I just feel like with that beta tag hanging over at the moment, we just need to kind of hope that they take on the onboard the advice, and hopefully we'll be able to get the absolute perfect solution for everyone. But yeah, let me know below, what do you think? And keep subscribed to this channel. We've got loads more content coming on QuickBooks Self-Employed. We've got to look at the accountant side of things. We're going to look at the mobile apps as well, comparing those two, see what they look like. We've got lots and lots of deep dives to do QuickBooks Self-Employed, so you're already in the right place. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a like button, put a comment below, and let me know if you got this far, what your favourite side, left or right. Which one is it, sole trader or self-employed? My name's been Aaron Patrick. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this new series.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video. Hello and welcome to this video.
Right, let's get it set. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, I'm aware we go live every Monday.
The next generation is about everyone else that missed it.
Yeah. So current. All right, you've told us what you love about the industry, but what would you change about the industry?
Where do I start?
During that period of time, where did everyone turn to? Their accountant, right? Their advisor, the bookkeeper. And you all did phenomenal work for small business.